Never take financial advice from Kotaku. It's entertainment for clicks. Not only that, that business, they're running it into the ground.
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, the video game show that is not hosted by an annoying e-beggar. There is no Patreon, no Super Chats. That's right, we just talk about the games we love and how fun it is to hoard them. Collect them. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode, this show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, we're going to be talking NFTs, the big news. Steam is blocking blockchain games, NFT games from their platform, right? And people have different opinions, but I want to tell you what you need to know. Most of the news that comes from this usually comes from the same people over and over again. When it comes to Kotaku, remember, they are not really journalists. They're not. Per their own words, it's more like what did they say? It was going to be a talk between friends or something like that. It doesn't matter. Everything that they produce comes from a political point of view, and a certain political point of view at that. It's not financial advice, right? It really isn't. If you enjoy that for the clicks and for your own entertainment, maybe you share their opinions, that's great. But don't use that to judge financial investments. That's a really, really bad idea. Especially from a company that's not doing that well on their own, right? There's certain things that they ignore from NFTs, but let me give you an example on how to tell if a particular article has a biased opinion. And a lot of it, a lot of times they will state it in previous articles, or they will state it in many, many ways, and they're just making an argument for their opinion. But that doesn't mean that that's valid financial advice.
Alright guys, so let's try reading this article, and for all practical purposes, as far as advice, this is like financial diarrhea, because you have somebody here analyzing the market and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So let's look at a few paragraphs here. It's pretty funny that Steam thinks that NFTs contain real value. No, what's pretty funny is that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. They know they have value, and they made a business decision based on that. You, on the other hand, don't know what the hell you're talking about. Let's continue. But I'm not complaining. The less closely video games align with NFTs, the better off we'll all be. And it seems like I'm not the only one who agrees. Steam's main competitor is the Epic Game Store. CEO Tim Sweeney tweeted that the company was not touching NFTs as the whole field is currently tangled up with an intraceable mix of scams, interesting decentralized tech foundation, and scams. Even if the technology itself wasn't based on selling people on beachfront property in Florida, the NFT market is notoriously volatile. Oh my God. When you're a trader, you're a slave to volatility. You need that in the market to make money. But let's continue. This past June, the NFT market suffered a 90-cent collapse from its peak. Okay, let's see. Why would that have happened? Do you think people sold off because they made 90% profits? You think that happened? Or do you think they're just idiots and then just held it all the way down? Oh my, that's a lot of assumptions. Also, wouldn't that mean that the market right now is 90% off? So if you bought right now, you're getting a 90% discount depending on what commodities or what NFTs you were buying, right? That could be something else, but like I said, they have a biased point of view when it comes to the market, so that's the way they report things. Collapse is not the right way to say volatility, and as a matter of fact, the market right now is warming up again because people, after they take profits and things go down, they come back in. So that's another explanation. Not everybody loses money when something goes all the way down. Now let's continue here. Now that two of the largest game distributors in the world have rejected this particular mixture of games and crypto, the future of cryptocurrency and NFT-centered games looks a little less bright. Okay, so that was reported on Friday, but all of a sudden Epic said, wait a minute, These guys are letting all these customers go. They have nowhere to go. Well, maybe they can have a home here because we need all the subscribers we can get, plus money. But look how they phrase it. Now, this is a follow-up article by a different reporter, right? Reporting on the same thing. But if you look at the tone of the article, it's still the same thing. Let's look at it here. Epic Games and its CEO, Tim Sweeney, are open to letting games that use blockchain technology and NFTs onto its PC store. Even as NFTs continue to be criticized for being a giant planet-burning scam filled with grifters. This follows Valve's decision to remove and ban all games that utilize NFTs and blockchain technology. It also follows earlier statements by Epic's CEO, which said Epic wouldn't touch NFTs due to scams. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney tweeted a statement following The Verge's publication of a story about his company interest in allowing NFT tech on its storefront, stating that Epic Game Store will welcome games that make use of blockchain tech, provided that they follow the relevant laws, disclose their terms, and are age rated by an appropriate group.
NFTs are burning Mother Earth! Oh no! Guys, that point of view is very, very, very narrow. NFTs are necessary for a lot of people in the globe, especially those that don't live in Western countries, Western societies. Authoritarian governments try to ban NFTs because they don't have control of them. These people ignore this completely because of their set political point of view, for example. And I'll give you a really, really quick example how these can help people in other countries. Let's say you live in a country where the government is overbearing and take things from people all the time. This happens in Latin America all the time. Say you have a nice piece of property and you really like it. It's been in your family forever, but all of a sudden, a certain party comes to power. They want that property because they think it's more valuable. They have an interest in it and whatever. And all of a sudden, poof, you lose your property. It turns out it wasn't ever yours, and they fix the papers at the government level, and all of a sudden you don't own the property, and if you don't like it, you're probably going to end up in jail. If that property was held in a blockchain, in a public blockchain, for example, they couldn't do that because the ledger is on the internet. The fraud would be obvious to everybody, right? So there's a lot of freedom in that, and it frees a lot of people. So you can see governments that don't want to lose that type of control will ban NFTs for a lot of things. So as soon as you see governments banning NFTs, you know where they're coming from. They want less freedom for their people, less financial freedom, I should say. And also, the blockchain and NFTs are great sources of income for people who may not have, the opportunities in their given society. Let's say you're a minority in a repressive government or somewhere else. You can earn money, right? In places where maybe the job market is close to you, because behind a computer, behind an avatar, it doesn't matter what you look like, what your religion is, what your preferences are. None of that matters. Do you show up to work and grind of it every day? That's the only thing that matters. So they ignore these type of things that are really, really important to any economy. So these, statements that they make, these overblown statements, are really, really not based on any sort of fact, financial research, or reality. Some blockchains, yes, they might be unfriendlier to the environment, but they're improving all the time. There's some other blockchains that use less energy and are more conscious of the environment. And in blockchain technology and markets, it's really, really open. You can vote with your wallet. If you don't want to use those that use too much energy, use something that's more energy efficient or is driving to be more energy efficient. But in the meantime, people are making money. And if you just shy away from these things completely because of what you read in some article, you're going to miss out. Use more balanced news as a guide on what to research. It's up to you to do your due diligence, okay? When it comes to researching any project, any NFT, right? But you can see what the more established places are, the ones that have been around for a long time, those are, usually safe places to keep your money at. If you have, multi-billion-dollar company that starts establishing these businesses, it's pretty safe to say that the value is going to stay there. And these are holders of value. You have to remember, inflation is going to go up because we've been printing a lot of money. So in many ways, cash is trash because we printed more than 30% of all the dollars in the world within the last, 3 years? So at some point your money is going to lose value. So you need to have a store holder of value and make that diverse. Not only NFTs, not only blockchains, but many, many places where you can store your wealth. Consult your financial advisor. And always do your due diligence whenever you're going to invest. But whatever you do, don't listen to opinion pieces, because this is all Kotaku is. It's an opinion piece by somebody that isn't really qualified to judge the market. Now, Steam just went away from NFTs, right? But there's reasons for this, right? And it's not the reasons that they claim. Not only the reasons that they claim, right? So there's a couple of things here. One of it is that, remember, now the government is looking to track deposits more than $600, right? Bringing it down, what is it, $10,000 before? $600. That's to, monitor a lot of online transactions, a lot of profit that's been going on. They want to get their hands in that cheddar, right? And, a lot of companies don't want to deal with this BS, right? They're not set up to, especially if you're a gaming company and transactions are being conducted that you can't track, or they're being conducted independently by their users. The government probably, what they're going to do is say, you have to track them, you figure it out. We're going to tax you regardless, right? They don't want that, right? That's problem number one, because remember, NFTs are independent to the user, so users can be making transactions on their own that the game developer themselves may be programmed into the game that nobody has access to or are able to control. That's the beauty of the NFT, that you and I and somebody else can conduct transactions independently in the blockchain without having any interference from outside sources, right? But what happens then? There's another headache for Steam. There's many, many, many young users on the platform. What happens then? Now you have taxable income by minors. It's really what you're going to have, because they're the ones that get to stay home all day and grind and come up with these valuable NFTs, right? So it's kind of a mess. So it could be a financial choice that they're making. They don't want to deal with that headache. On the other side, you have Epic, that doesn't have as big a subscriber base, right? They have Fortnite, but as far as their service, it's not as big as Steam's. So they're making a choice saying, you know what? This could get us a lot more subscribers. I'm not saying that this is the case, but this is probably the talks, right? You're never going to turn down customers when you're a business. Now, if they're the major party and the only ones accepting them, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to rush there. Now you have a bunch of subscribers, and they're probably thinking, we're going to make enough money on this, on the first go, on the first wave of stuff that's going to come in, that we'll be able to implement something eventually. When government cracks down, they'll say, okay, we'll give you a couple of years, we're going to do this. They do it in stages. In the meantime, that crypto, those NFTs, all that stuff is earning interest, right? So there's a financial reason why you would take this chance. So there's other explanations than just political ones in order to explain why this is going on. Now, am I saying that there aren't any scams or any pump and dumps or anything like that? No, of course. There's always bad actors in any market, whether it's the stock market, NFTs, anything. That's why you have to do your due diligence or consult with professionals when doing these type of transactions, right? But if you're a person that likes to, maybe get a small portion, right, of their investments and handle them yourself, such as I do, right? I take a small percentage of my portfolio that I invest myself and I play around with, and I try to do the best I can, and that's my hobby, right? One of my hobbies other than the gaming. and I try to manage those with the best information that I have. All right, guys, that's just a different point of view, right? This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to start making and transitioning to, because it's going to be a financial gaming channel, if you will. How can we make money with NFTs? How can we make money with crypto? What's out there for us? How can we fund these game collections in this game hoarding? How can you benefit from watching these videos, and how I can benefit from interacting with you? I may know a lot of things, but I don't know everything, and there's a lot, and I mean a lot, of smarter people out there than I am. So I look forward to having many, many conversations regarding investment. All right, guys, I will talk to you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.